Yo, back again, back to win. What's up, Scream Sceners, Screamers, Jody Dean, Krista here. Krista, what's going on with you? How you feeling?
Feeling good. You just caught me on the way to the gym, so I took a quick break to come chat with you.
I actually caught you in the middle of something else, but we won't go into it. It's inappropriate for this channel, and this is a PG channel.
Don't
I'm
give
just
away my secrets.
I'm just kidding, guys.
That was
Listen, it's been a few days since Krista and I have been on here together. We've been watching a lot of horror movies and talking a lot of horror behind the scenes. I seen The Strangers this last Friday night. I loved it. Great film. It was everything I was hoping it would be. And guess what? Come Monday morning, critics are ripping it apart. People are saying horrible things about the film. What gives?
I think people just want to have something to say. They have to be critic. Well, okay, answer this. How did you think it compared to the first one or two? Was there a reason for them to be critical? Do you that you noticed?
I will say this. I said this to somebody else in another interview today. We were talking before the interview and they were asking me my thoughts on the film. And I said I feel like it was very comparable to the first one. What was different was the caliber of the recreation. The camera work was phenomenal. And again, I look at things different than most people do. You know, I'm looking at it in a cinematography aspect. Um, it was shot beautifully. The the colors, the intensity, they had like the right amount of suspense build up. It wasn't like overkill suspense, like it was just the right amount. And then they would have these big booms, these big jump scares, these big moments there. Um, it's very comparable to the first film. It's just shot way better. The actors, in my opinion, are phenomenal. However, going back to the first film, Liv Tyler, she was incredible in that. I mean, I felt bad for her. I wanted to come through the screen and say, it's going to be okay. It's all right.
She's a good actress.
He was good. Even that guy, he's really good. I felt bad for him. I wanted to, just give him a beer or something.
People are really critical of sequels, though, I've noticed. So it's like you're never going to be able to, I mean, not necessarily. You can top the originals, but it's very hard to do. So I think if people are expecting to see any of the original cast and they get disappointed, or I think that can play into the feedback.
I agree. I see a lot of people that feel exactly that. That's exactly what a lot of people say. Oh, it was perfect the first time. Don't mess with it. Oh, nobody will be able to outdo this one. And they can't look at it from a new standpoint. There are some remakes that I've seen people very, very happy with. And in fact, they love the remakes better than the originals. But I think that maybe that's one of the originals in people's minds that probably shouldn't have been touched. Or if it was going to be, make me feel like I'm watching something very different. But it's a phenomenal movie. Like, it's so good. Anthony looked at me afterwards and he says, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give it? And I said, well, it's a studio film. I'm not rating it as an indie horror film. They had millions of dollars into this production. Rennie Harlan fucking directed it. Rennie's amazing. I said, I give it a 10. He was like, wow. It was just, what else did you want? Like, it was perfectly executed. Was it the best story in the world? Probably not, but it was a so well executed story. Like, you can have a great story and have a shitty film,
Right.
you
How was
know?
the intensity? Like, did they build up the intense scenes? Like, was there jump scares? How was the gore levels, do you think?
Um, it wasn't so the jump scarishness of it was great. There were a lot of creepy moments that I myself kind of just like reached over and grabbed Alicia's hand and she's like, "You're gonna break my hand." And I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "Okay, I make horror films. What am I doing?" But it locked me in, and I love that something that can that can do that. They can grab you. So it had that, but as far as like the blood and gore, no, there wasn't a ton of it. And I still loved it. And there you go, because I'm a huge, that's what I look for in a horror film.
Right. It must be good for you to give it a 10 and there's not a lot of blood and gore in it. Must have some good elements.
It does. I can't wait for you to see it. But I think one of the biggest things that I'm disappointed in, because I don't know if I told you this, but a few years ago, this movie Snake Eyes is like a GI Joe origin movie came out, and I remember I went to the theater to see it because I'm a big GI Joe fan. Probably a lot of people don't know that about me, and there's not a lot that I will take the time to go to a movie theater to see. Like it has to be a horror film usually.
Mhm.
And I went and I seen this movie, and I was like, dude, that was so good. I go home and I start seeing all these Facebook posts about people ripping this movie apart. And I'm like, did we see the same film? I am seeing that so much. And, you know, it's just as bad as bullying.
That's a good point. Like I never thought about that. If you're the director or the actors or the people that put all of your effort and heart into it, and then you see all these negative comments, that is bullying.
It
People like
is.
to bully. That's why I don't know how much like stock can you put into these reviews. Like if you like normal people like you and I will go read comments on, somebody's post and it's just like blatant, mean, hurtful things. Nothing of substance. And it's like, who gives a crap what their opinion is? They probably never even watched it.
That's true. But you're absolutely right. I think what's discouraging, disappointing about it is a lot of people live to ride the hate train. So you get these reviews out there that are misleading, completely inaccurate, and somebody sees that, and that word of mouth is so powerful. Bro, like 3-4 months ago, I forget what film it was, but I remember I was excited about a post I had seen, and like it was about a movie, an indie horror that was like coming to Tubi or something like that, or maybe it was on Tubi. And I seen this forum of people just ripping this movie apart, and it was like, dude, they were going so hard. It made me want to watch the movie. I like I was excited about the post, but like then when I seen this, I was like, I gotta see, because I was happy. So I watched the film and it was fucking great. And I'm just like, I'm noticing most of these people that were ripping it apart didn't even watch the movie.
That does not
That's
surprise
sad.
that does not surprise me.
I mean, I see that a lot I've seen that a lot with YouTube over the years. Like I'll have somebody like watch, like I'll post a 2-hour long video, and like 10 minutes into the video they'll say, this sucks, how boring. And I'm like, well, yeah, let me just make a video and shoot my whole shot right in the first 10 minutes, like hang in there, buddy. Like and sometimes you got to give a movie more than 10 minutes.
Oh yeah. I noticed that. I'm not to change the subject, but I noticed that with my own work too. Like if I write a blog or a website or something, the the client will go in and start reading it and making comments right in the beginning, like we need to have this element and this element. I'm like, did you read the fucking thing? Like all of those elements are there, just down a little bit further. It's like
Mhm.
you really have to view something and then criticize it. Some people just open their mouth and don't even know what they're talking about.
Movie well, I mean, just critics in general, but movie critics are really trying. I think they've realized that their blogs, their titles, their videos, their content of some sorcery will have way more traction if it's negative, if it's drama related. I mean, I think that's what it is.
Clickbait? You think clickbait?
I think it's clickbait, but I think it is clickbait, but I think they commit to the clickbait. And I think that's what's sad. Like it'd be one thing if you're doing it and then like somebody clicks on it and they're like, "Oh shit, well this does, like you're saying nothing but good stuff about it." From the title, it looked like, "Oh man, let's hear this review on the new Return to Silent Hill." What do they have shitty to say about it? and then like you actually read it, and it would blow your mind if they said something nice about it. Return to Silent Hill is an amazing film. Everybody should go watch it from start to finish. The film is beautifully color graded, beautifully shot. The music is outstanding, what you would expect from every single Silent Hill film. The acting is absolutely stellar, blah blah blah. No, you go there, you read it, and it's like worst movie I ever seen.
I see that all too much. And that, like you were saying earlier, that makes you kind of want to go see it more. It's like, do you believe them? It's like you don't judge. They always teach you as a young kid, don't judge a book by its cover. Just
Right.
because I like something doesn't mean you'll like it. Even with the same, like food. My mom always made us taste everything once. She's like, I love beets. And I'm like, I freaking hate them. She's all, well, you don't know if you hate them until you try them. Well, I hate them, but I tried it. you
I
know,
hate beats. That's so crazy that you said that. Alicia is obsessed with beats. The
well,
only beats I like are Beats headphones. Okay.
or making them, making beets.
Or making beats. Exactly. Exactly.
But have
But
you tried them? Has she fed you beets?
I have. I've took a little nibble here and there, but it's just not my steezery.
Yeah. Ugh.
But she can eat a whole fucking can of them. Yeah, she'll sit and, oh my god, they've got beets on the buffet. I'm like, damn, girl, calm down. Jesus.
Ugh, I can't stand them. They make me want to gag. They're very good for you.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard that. But what's crazy is like you just said, like you or I, like we might see somebody ripping something apart and it makes us want to see it more to see like what they're talking about because most of the time we're excited, right? But a lot of people it will derail them from wanting to see it. It almost is like it's bullying and it's like costly slander.
Right. It
You
is.
know, I mean, imagine spending $1 million making a film. And who gets to see the film first at the screening? Critics, producers, people. Their reviews drop before that movie actually hits theaters for everybody to see it come Friday. And by come Friday, everybody's heard about, this person and that person saying, oh my God, I want that, hour and 20 minutes of my life back. It was horrible. Like, it's like, man, it's really kind of fucked up if you think about it.
There's so much stock that's put into these critically acclaimed reviewers of these stupid movies that are coming out. So they don't even give the audience a chance to decide for themselves because what they say, people are getting like Rotten Tomatoes. Everybody's like, oh, it's got a 3% Rotten Tomatoes score. I go in and watch it and I'm like, dude, this was great. What are you talking? Like, how many reviews did it even get? 3 out of
Yeah.
100? I don't. 100 people watched it and 3 reviewed it. I don't know. Like, where are these this critics? I don't know. I just think the critics need to shut up until other people see it. Let the movie be out for a little bit and then come in with your negative comments.
I absolutely agree. Same way here. Whoa, what the heck was that?
I don't know. I heard it.
Shit.
Is your spirit back visiting you again?
Is everybody okay? Hello? What was that?
It sounded like something like
It
fell.
just fell? Nuh-uh. But nobody can even. Are you serious? It can't even be accessed though. What? Dude, oh my god. So this thing that we have like we have the stairwell and then there's like this closet there and there's like this like a chest of drawers. I know it sounds weird, but there's like a chest of drawers by the closet and there's this big like sculpture on there. She said it just fell.
Wow, I heard that.
It was loud as shit, dude. I thought freaking a plane just like crashed or in the side of the building or something. Side of the house, not a damn building. Anyway, that just blew my mind. But uh Gag. You had told me you watched Gag. You were like, I liked it. It was a good film. I seen where somebody was ripping that film apart. And I'm like, they were saying something film and it's not that gory.
Wow. They didn't watch it. You can't believe they watched it.
Clickbait. Clickbait. Um, is there anything on your radar that like you're thinking about watching later or you're excited about? Anything you've seen lately?
Well, so I've been binging end of the world thrillers because all these like I'm a huge storm fan, so thunderstorms, and I've been watching live storm chasers. And my favorite two, Amy and Val Castor, they were filming tornado chases and they were trying to get ahead of this storm. And while they were live feeding, like live streaming in their truck on the highway in front of a tornado, not close to it, their car flipped and they crashed on like on the live stream and the feed went dead. Their windshield was cracked. Like, and it was another 2 hours of streaming with nothing. So we were like, I was terrified, like, oh my God, what happened to them? So then that got me on this kick where I wanted to watch all those, tornado movies and Geostorm and Greenland and all those kind of movies. So
I love watching those kind of things. I'll occasionally I'll go if I'm laying in bed at night trying to go to sleep. This is so fucked up. I will put on the craziest, scariest, most terrifying tornadoes ever caught on camera.
that's great.
And I'll just watch them so happily until I'm just I'm sawing logs. But
You get that 1999, the F5 tornado in Oklahoma that, oh my gosh, like those are some
yeah.
crazy videos. I do the same. I love it. Like I'm such a huge storm person. Watching these live feeds too, it's incredible because they ran into like downed power lines and trees they had to jump over and then they flip on the highway when they're not in danger. It's like
Mhm.
life is weird the way it throws things at you.
It is my friend Martha and her family in Texas. They were at home when some tornadoes came out of nowhere, and I guess she said that they've never had to deal with tornadoes in this particular area. And she said that it knocked down all the power lines, and like the power company told them it could be a couple weeks before you have power. And
The recent, this is 3 or 4 days ago.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, I mean, things can always change, but that was the first thing they got, and they're like, wow, like they were blown away from the tornado, happening at all. They weren't prepared for it. I mean, like, that was something that just doesn't happen supposedly in Houston.
Right.
And yeah, they were unprepared and then that happened. So hopefully, they're going to get the power lines back up, but it wasn't just like one power line. Supposedly it was like a domino effect of power lines.
It's funny you brought Houston up because my adopted brother and my sister actually live down in Houston and he got stuck in the middle of the tornado on the highway. He was driving, he works for HEB. So he was driving doing deliveries and he got stuck and on the highway and had to pull over and stop and he said the car was shaking, there was wind coming through the vents. He tried to step on the gas to move his car and he couldn't even move forward. He was like right in the path of it. It was insane, he said.
That is so scary, man.
Excuse.
I've known a lot of people, and we're still like in the beginning of what we have coming this summer, this hurricane season. It's gonna be crazy. I mean, when I was just down in Florida, and there was one of the days it said it was going to be clear skies. I've never seen it rain so hard in my life. Like I checked it, like I thought maybe there was something wrong when I checked it. I was like, it just said clear skies, and I'm looking at the sky, and I'm like, it looks terrible. I checked it again, and it said 90% chance of like, like storms and rain showers and thunder, blah blah blah. And I was just like, dude, are we literally getting to a point here where like we can't even 50% like trust what we're seeing like on the weather channels and here? Like, is it out of their hands even now?
I'm noticing the weather patterns changing. I was obsessed. I was a meteorology major until I changed to English. But I mean, we're getting the storms are getting worse. They're increasing. We're getting like you see more F3 tornadoes than you do 1 or 2. I mean, it's just the hurricanes are getting worse. The thunderstorms are getting worse. I've had 2 cars totaled by hail just in the city that I'm at. Like our hailstorms here are insane. They were
They're
like the
brutal.
hail balls were like, can you see that?
Yeah.
Pretty big.
Wow.
I'd say golf ball size. I guess I could just say that, but
That's like softball size. Um,
I picked one up like that big. It was huge.
dude,
And
that's crazy. Now, if something like that if you were outside and something like that hit you in your head, I mean, it
Yeah.
could kill you. Dude, I hate to go to this story, but I just had a vision when I was saying that. This guy, David, I know, he was riding his bike and he hit a bump on the road that he was on. It was like a rocky road. And he fell and he hit his head on the ground and it knocked him out. Well, where his head landed, it had just rained the night before and there was a puddle there. And his face landed in that puddle and he drowned to death.
Wow. That's terrible.
You think about like something like that, you're just maybe you're out trying to like, do something to the car, get somewhere to get some food, and you get hit in the head with uh, a big old piece of hail like that. Um, Sometimes it's not the hits, it's what happens because of it, You fall on the ground, somebody doesn't know you're there, they go pulling in the driveway, like, you have to really fucking be careful in conditions like that. You have to stay in shelter.
I was in the car when that hailstorm hit, and there wasn't anything I could do. I couldn't get out of the car because of how large the hail was. And I just sat there and watched my car get totaled in front of me. I
Mm,
actually have video from me sitting inside the car of my windshield cracking, and it was intense. Not thankfully I was safe though, not outside like your friend. Like that's crazy to
yeah.
I mean, how much water was that? A puddle? Like an inch of water?
Well, I never seen it, but they said that it was just enough just to like cover like with his face, like it was enough to cover like where he drowned. It completely knocked him out, and he landed in such a position where he drowned. He didn't die from the hit. He died from drowning, and it sucked because I knew this guy, and he had a very very hard life, man. Like I don't know if I've ever personally known somebody that had a harder life than this guy. So when I heard that, I was just like, Jesus, man, like the guy never could catch a break. And yeah, it's a sadness, but I always tell my kids, like, look, if you're gonna be riding the bike out and about, be with somebody, stick together, watch each other's backs, and same thing with us adults, man. We like sometimes when I'm doing scary adventures, I'll tell Alicia, like, keep an eye on me, as much as you can. If you have to, move the truck, like if you don't see me in a certain amount of time, check, because I could get bit by a snake, and maybe it's so hot out that depending on where I'm at, the exercise it takes to get back to the vehicle, and the heat can make the venoms, spread like 10 times quicker. And it's like, I might not make it back. And it might have been 20 minutes since you've seen me, and I might be dead.
There could be a
So,
tree branch fall on your head. Didn't there a branch or something break in one of your recent video? I think you were with Sam, maybe. I don't know. I heard something. Maybe it wasn't
yeah.
that video, but a tree branch or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, when I look back in the history of doing these videos, I've been in all kinds of like situations like that. And they're usually situations that you just walk into, and natural things just happen so weirdly. And it's wild to think that like it's something that I've turned into like somewhat of a career. I've been doing the YouTube thing since like faithfully since 2018. But these Randonautica scary adventure treasure hunting videos, I've been doing these like pretty religiously for like 3 years. And when I look back at the span of 3 years, I'm like, it's been good to me and my family, but dude, it's come with a major fucking cost,
Right.
you
I've
know?
seen a lot of injuries that you sustained while you're filming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even falling is something as simple as falling and hurting your ankle, or I don't know. It's you got to be careful. You never know. Just like the people doing their filming in the video and their back end fishtails and they flip and hit the barrier. Like
Yeah.
it takes 2 seconds for something to drastically change your life.
It's true. It's true. It's you know, it, w- we definitely, when I hear people say I have anxiety and they say it in such a way to where like It's a rare thing. I'm like, every motherfucker on this planet has anxiety. We have to. We live in a day. I do get it. Some people have it worse than others, you know. Like I'm pretty good with stuff, but I think that everybody has to have anxiety nowadays. If you don't, then you're probably not exposed to too much. But just living in this world, just going to the grocery store now has become a, you know, a thing. Like you have to watch your back going to the laundromat. You have to move different in this era.
People are getting shot in grocery stores. We've had
Mhm.
quite a few grocery stores or Walmart even shootings just randomly. It's insane. Like I'm
It
like
is.
right now, I'm always tense. So I like clench my teeth. I'm doing it now to the point where it gives me a headache. Like it's just an everyday thing for me. I'm so anxious. And then I turn around and watch all these horror movies because it's exciting to me. That's how I
Yeah.
get my thrills. It's like I might be morbid. I don't know. Like when I saw them crash, it's like, oh, I want to go watch all these tornado videos. It just I don't know. It gets me. I don't know.
Yeah. No, hey, listen, I'm the same way. I've always said it, and it's crazy because like I'll be rigging up a situation for like a scene or something. There's a short film I'm getting ready to do. It's like a little zombie short film. And there's this scene in there. Since it's a short film, there's not a lot of room for a lot to happen. Like there's like one major like kill that's going to look really cool. And you know, I'm like looking at it, and if it's executed correctly, the way that it will look on when people are watching it, it will look very real, super freaking gruesome. But it's funny because I can see like a video of a real life situation of somebody like doing something like they lose their toe and tears come to my eyes. You know, there's just my compassion for like anybody, even my enemies, like enemies that I would have if I do have any. Like it doesn't matter who you are. Like I hate to see people get hurt. Like it sucks, but for some reason, these horror films, I can make the shit look really good.
And it's just horror is fake and real life is completely different. I don't even like asking people for a ride to the airport because
Mhm,
I have so much anxiety. It's like, what if they crash on their way home? What if they
mhm.
get into an accident and die on their way to pick me up? I would never forgive myself. I have such
Wow.
a hard time asking for help, like in any aspect, because I don't want to be responsible for hurting somebody. It's like my
Yeah.
mom, I was on vacation and my mom was watching my fish for me when I was gone. And she cleaned out the fish tank and it broke and it sliced her arm open. And she had to go get stitches. And I felt absolutely terrible because she still has a scar. I'm like, if I never asked for help, that wouldn't have freaking happened to you.
Damn. Yeah. But you said something that reminded me. When I went to New Orleans like 4 years ago by myself, it was like 3 or 4 years ago. Um, this Uber or whatever they were, I think it was an Uber. They picked me up from the airport to take me, you know, to downtown to like Bourbon Street and shit. Um, on the way there, they were telling me, be careful if you're going to be using Ubers while you're here. And I was like, uh-oh, don't please don't kill me. And that's what I'm thinking. And they were like, we've had a few situations lately where like the Uber is like not a few, but like a certain Uber drove somebody to an area where like I guess these people were drunk and they didn't realize the Uber wasn't taking them where they requested to go and took them to like this very like secluded area, fucking robbed them, raped them, and killed them.
Wow. Don't tell
Yeah.
me that. I'm going to New Orleans in like 2 months.
Oh shit. I'm sorry about that.
Hey. No,
But
you really gotta be on guard when it comes to
yeah,
that.
and and people should, no matter what you're doing, whether it's an Uber, dude. I rarely go anywhere that I ain't packing, bro. Like if I can be home by myself and go to the bathroom and my gun comes with me, because what happens if within like the time of me leaving my office to go into the bathroom, somebody were to like break in or something, and I'm in the bathroom, I'm gonna be the one person in the house that's like, you know, ready. And I think, you know, growing up and living in a certain area like kind of made me that way. But I'm so thankful for it because like you can't be too cautious nowadays. That's the point.
No, you can't. I've had some strange Uber rides myself, like ones that made me feel uncomfortable, like them getting off the highway or going the way that the Uber is not telling them. And I'll be in Katy, Texas, taking an Uber, and I'm like, I'm not too familiar with the area yet, so I get really scared because it's just me, usually by myself, a female at night with some guy. I've had drunk Uber drivers, high Uber drivers, one of them trying to get me to drink in the back seat, like
Wow.
there's some sketchy, yeah, apparently they said it's legal if you have a driver. I'm like, "Is that even true?" Like,
Yeah, and even if that were the case, like, how do I know what you're giving me is like okay? It's like you could
right.
be giving me GHB roofies or some shit. Like,
He's like, "Oh,
yeah,
I have my regulars. Here's my card. If you ever need a ride, you can call me directly." I'm like, "Dude,
yeah.
no." And
If
there's
you ever need a ride, I'm sure.
right. What
Yeah.
kind of ride are you asking for?
So you're going to New Orleans and check. When did you say? Like in a couple months, a couple weeks?
July 30th to August 1st, I believe.
Okay, cool. I'm going to New Orleans very soon. That's why I was like, dude, that's so fucking crazy. We actually were just talking about it today. I don't know exactly when, and I can't say, but definitely it's a fun place to be. You just man, you really have to be on your toes there. When I went my first time, I went by myself,
Mm,
and dude, I got into a fight my second night there.
wow. Are you scrappy?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I had perfect reason. I don't ever look for trouble, but I was waiting for a po' boy sandwich. It was late at night. The streets were flooded. It was Mardi Gras. First off, when I went to New Orleans, I did not know that it was Mardi Gras time. When I booked it, I didn't look into that. I didn't know. I was on the plane on the way there, and all these people were wearing these beads and this shit. And I said to this guy, I was like, why is everybody like wearing the shiny, like flashy stuff? And he was like, it's Mardi Gras, brother. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I get down there, and I'm going down there to film like voodoo shops and talk to people about the paranormal and witchcraft and voodoo, hoodoo, film it like haunted places um and it was fun, and I got a lot of great stuff, but I was there by myself, and a lot of the places I had to go to in between, I'm seeing parties, I'm seeing, titties and everything else. Is just it's crazy. And that's not what I was there for. It's not what I was looking for. I just happened to be there in the chaos. I go into this shop to order a po' boy sandwich because somebody said that that was the best, cleanest food that you could find in the area. And I'm like, okay, well, you had me at clean. And I'm standing in line, and this guy behind me, his friend bumps into him, and he spills his beer all over me. I mean, the whole fucking beer just drenched down my brand new outfit. I literally just left my hotel, Ubered down to Bourbon Street, walked in to get a sandwich, and I'm covered in beer. I turned around and I pushed the dude hard. I pushed him so hard that he went a few feet back into his friends, and it caused his friends to go back towards like the glass window. There was a cop 4 feet away. He turns around. He says, "You guys, like, blah blah blah. You lock it up right now. Or I'll have you guys, detained. You're gonna go down to the station." And I said, "He just threw his fucking drink on me." The guy said, "I got bumped into you, man. Fuck you." And the guy said, "Are we gonna have a problem here?" And he's like, he gave us like an opportunity to like walk away. And I said, "Fuck it, man." I said, "Fuck the sandwich," and I walked out. I was pissed, bro. I was ready to fight. And as I'm walking out to walk across the street, stupid move. There's an alley. Now everything is popping down there, but there ain't a damn person on this alley. The main street, yes. This alley, no. For some reason, my dumb ass thinks I'll go across the street and I'll just go down this alley. These guys come walking out, follow me down to this alley, and I turn around and I'm like, shit, there's like five of them. There's five of them. There's one of me. Well, what I don't realize is they get closer. Two of the people that were walking out behind them that I thought were with them was a husband and wife that seen the whole thing happen inside, and they had my fucking back and they fought with me. I got jumped by those guys. I didn't, dude, I didn't get hurt whatsoever, but that husband and wife jumped in on a couple of them, and it was like the coolest thing in the world, dude. Like somebody seen it happen. They must have heard those guys say something and they were like, that guy's by himself. Let's go have his back. They were very cool, and thank God, or else maybe they would have fucked. I don't know if they would have fucked me up, but they could have stabbed me up.
Damn. Yeah, you don't know what they had on them. If they're crazy enough to follow you out after you walked away, like,
Exactly.
really?
With the cop in there, like it made you think, like, why didn't the cop like look to see like what happened? But this husband and wife did, and yeah, they may have saved my life, dude. But that was my first experience ever in New Orleans, and I was by myself. So if it would have happened, like, you know, at least to the kids, man, they wouldn't have had no fucking clue.
I'm excited to go, but you're not the first person to warn me about where I'm at. It's like they have wards like Texas does. You need to know which side you need to be on versus which
Right.
side you need to not be on. But I'm going down there with my best friend and her boyfriend. He has an art studio that he owns here in Denver, and they're doing a convention down there. So
Oh,
while
cool.
he's working, me and my bestie, we're just gonna go, explore. And she just wanted some company. So
That's awesome, man. Well, you guys are gonna have fun, dude. Like you cannot go there and not have fun. Um, it's just, anywhere you go, you need to be cautious. I will just say that New Orleans is one of those places. Like when I go there, everywhere else I bring at least one gun with me. When I go there, I have two on me.
I don't have any. I want some, I found a cute one that I want to buy. I haven't done it yet.
It's a
It's like it's a cute little mini one, and it's like chrome and purple and pinkish color. It like changes
oh,
color. It's really cute. But I don't know if you can bring it traveling. I should be going to Texas in like 2 weeks, maybe the end of the month, beginning of June. Can I even take it with
if
me?
you're going on a plane, no. At least I've never looked into that, but I highly doubt that. No, I don't think there might be a way if you have your permit, you're concealed. But you wouldn't be able, obviously, I don't know, but here's what I'll say. I'll just say, like, when you get down there, just grab yourself some pepper spray from somewhere and maybe pick up a little like freaking Swiss Army knife and keep it with you. It's better to have something than nothing. And you know, good. Yeah. Guys do like listen. Um Even in my wildest days, I was never a pig, especially to women. Like just so much respect. But like guys down there, they get down there, they act like a fool. I've never seen nothing like it. And I mean, obviously, you're not going to find no husband material down there. But I'll say this, just like to even find decency. Like some of the natives are very, very cool, man. They're awesome, like very welcoming and kind and suggestible places to eat and go and have fun. But everybody's down there like for two reasons: you get drunk and make mistakes. So
I'm down there for the historical aspect. I want to see the graveyards and see some of the voodoo historical sites, and I don't know. That's why I'm going.
you're
I'm not.
gonna love it. You're gonna love it because you love that shit.
And I'm using it for my book too. The book that I'm writing is based in New Orleans, and I have to go if I want it to be a little bit more authentic. So
That's dope. Well, when you get back from there, maybe we can because I'm gonna be going too. I'll hold off on my conversation and then I'll wait till you go and then we'll have a conversation together maybe and we'll cover like the voodoo scene in New Orleans or something. We'll do a pod about it.
that'd be awesome.
Hell yeah. Well, listen, guys, if there's anything you take away from this, I know we covered the critics, we covered hurricanes and the dangerous world that we live in, but don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a movie by what some critic says. Because I seen this movie Friday night, The Strangers Chapter 1. Beautiful movie, great movie. And people are tearing it apart, and that's a sadness. So because that's going to cause somebody to say, well, I'm not going to waste my money on going to see it. And that's why theaters are probably taking the hit that they are, man, because I think critics aren't helping. I'll say that.
I agree 100%. Critics aren't helping, and people like us being negative in the comments probably aren't helping.
That's true. That's true, man. Definitely support film, support cinema, support the movie theaters, and support the Scream Scene right here by becoming a member, subscribing, turning on your notifications, liking the videos, commenting, and hopefully sharing them. It doesn't take too long. Share them on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Put them on your stories. Tag us in them. We'd love to see that stuff. So we love you guys so much. We'll see you again here in probably a day or so. And until then, sweet nightmares.